Hello, hello. How is everybody? Anna here once again. If you joined me yesterday and you're joining me again today, then big thumbs up to you guys for being so dedicated. If you are here, then please do say hello in the comments and I'll say hello back. Some of you have been waiting around for quite a while, some eager beavers saying hello up to half an hour ago. So thank you for being so patient. I do hope that you're still with me. So it's 3 o'clock just about here in London. It's a sunny day for once. We've got blue skies, sun is shining, but it is a little bit cold. Yeah, lovely to have you guys with me. Do feel free to say hello and let me know where in the world you are watching today. Now, you may know a naughty squirrel ate through my internet cable, so I am still not yet working back in my office. I am today in the gym cafe. So if you hear lots of noise in the background, some huffing and puffing, then nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. So hopefully you can hear me clearly enough to enjoy today's lesson. So lots of you from all over the world. I've got Kurdistan, Syria, Afghanistan, India, Pakistan, Sudan, Georgia, lovely. Paris, fantastic. Oh, here in the UK, Bracknell, lovely. Nice to have you here, Jacob. Jordan, Algeria, Egypt, France, Haiti, fantastic. Italy, fantastic. A real global audience today. Really nice to have you guys here. So today we are going to be learning some vocabulary. Yesterday we focused very heavily on mastering your English pronunciation. We talked a lot about kind of the right mindset and how you would sound like a native English speaker. But today is going to be more of a straightforward English lesson focused on vocabulary. Now, this particular lesson is the kind of thing that you receive if you are in our ELAN community. The ELAN community is a specific, exclusive community of English learners that our course students are a part of. It's where we do lots of live events, so live English lessons. It's where we come together for our conversation club meetings, share posts and things like that. So it's giving you a taste of what happens inside the ELAN community. Okay, and while I'm here, before I start, as many of you know, your inbox is probably full. You've been bombarded with all the promotions telling you that this week, and particularly today, is Black Friday. And although I do not like to follow the crowd, unfortunately, I've been compelled to get involved this year. So we are doing a Black Friday sale over on English Like a Native. So if you're intrigued, if you've ever wanted to join one of our courses, whether it be our big fluency program, our pronunciation course, our phrasal verb booster, or simply our conversation club for conversation practice, then now is the time when you'll get the best discounts of the entire year. So I'll leave that on screen for a little while for you to jot down or commit to memory. Right, so today I'm going to give you the first phrase. And this phrase is what the entire quiz that we're going to do is called. And it is eat your words. Eat your words. Does anybody know what eat your words mean? Has anybody ever said to you, you're going to eat your words, or you'll have to eat your words? Have you ever heard that phrase? Do you know what this means, to eat your words? Okay, let me explain this idiom to you. So this idiom means that you admit that something you said earlier was actually wrong, or you acknowledge that you made an error. So when someone tells you to eat your words, they mean that you should retract a statement, take back a statement or an opinion that you were previously very confident about. So when you've been proved wrong, you have to take back what you previously said. Okay, so keep that one in mind, to eat your words. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to 3 words, individual words you probably know, but then I'm going to talk about specific phrases that these words appear in, what phrases that you may not know. Okay, so the first word on our list is something that I actually started my day with, and it's the word toast. Toast. And I've put the phonetic transcription on there for you so you can see how it should be pronounced in British English, or rather RP. So that's O is the vowel. O, toast, toast, toast. So I'm sure you all know what toast is. I had toast for breakfast. As a noun, toast is a slice of bread that has been browned by exposure to heat. So you often put the bread into a toaster and put it down to turn it on, and then it creates toast by heating the bread. This morning I actually had beans on toast with a little bit of cheese and a sprinkling of seeds. It was very, very nice. Very wholesome way to start the day. Okay. Oh, Lorenzo, you're asking, which part of the UK are you from? I'm trying to figure out your accent. Well, I tend to speak with a kind of general modern RP. I'm living in the south of England on the outskirts of London. Where are you from, Lorenzo? Okay, so toast, that yummy, yummy breakfast option. Does anyone else have toast for breakfast? Now, one phrase that uses toast is to propose a toast. To propose a toast. If you propose a toast, this is something you'd usually hear when there's a huge gathering, some sort of celebration or a formal meeting, perhaps, and there's something to celebrate. If you propose a toast, then you make a formal speech, and it often has good wishes before you raise a glass in celebration. So you might say, quiet down, everybody, quiet, quiet, quiet. Listen, listen, ding, 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 ding. I'd like to propose a toast to the happy couple, Edward and Sheila. And then everyone goes, Edward and Sheila. And they drink. That's to propose a toast. I don't know why we use the word toast there, but we do. Another phrase that uses the word toast, let me just put this into the chat as well, is this one, your toast. Your toast. Has anyone heard this before? Your toast. If someone tells you your toast, this is quite scary. There's a scary situation is about to unfold. Your toast. What does it mean exactly? Anybody? Anybody know? Has anyone been told they're toast? Yeah, Helena, you know this because you've done this lesson already. Helena says, if you're toast, you are in trouble. Absolutely right. Yes. If you are toast, then it means that someone's telling you that you're in a very difficult and vulnerable situation, and you're likely to face some negative consequences, or you're going to be in trouble very soon. So, for example, if we work together and I've just revealed to you that I've done something terrible, and then we both hear someone announce that they know who did it, then you might say to me, Anna, you're toast. You are in big trouble. You're about to get sacked, I think. You're toast. Okay, so it's not a good thing to be toast. It's good to eat toast, but not a good thing to be toast. Okay, I do hope the signal is all right. It seems a bit choppy on my end, but let's hope it holds out. Okay, so that's toast. Let's move on to our next word. Something else you might have for breakfast. Jam. Jam. That starts with a strong j. J. Jam. Jam. So jam is something I don't have that often actually anymore because it's too sugary, but it's a sweet, thick spread that's made by cooking fruit with sugar. And so often you'd have strawberry jam on your toast. Sometimes you might put a little dollop of strawberry jam or raspberry jam or blackberry jam into your porridge or into your yogurt to give it some flavor and sweetness. If you, yeah, I have Greek yogurt, so it's often a little bit tart, tiny bit sour. And so I tend to put a little bit of honey on my Greek yogurt, but you might choose to put jam in it to sweeten that up. Okay, can you think of any phrases that use jam? Anyone? What phrases might use jam? Well, one that I always hope to avoid, but living where I live, on the outskirts of London, is a traffic jam. Ah, yes, Hussein, you got there before me. Well done. Okay, yes, so a traffic jam. A traffic jam is basically when lots of cars, vehicles are stuck or prevented from progressing because there's too many. Traffic jams are usually caused because there are too many vehicles on the road, or because there are road works going on. Maybe someone's digging up the road to fix the pipes, or when there's an accident, then that often causes a traffic jam. Yes, it's similar to gridlock, although gridlock suggests that literally everyone is locked in, like it's completely stopped. A traffic jam can be moving, but just very slowly. But gridlock suggests very specifically, it's no one's moving, everybody's stuck. Okay. So a traffic jam, something you do not want to get caught in. Another one, and Helena, I think I saw you add it to the mix. Let me see. Yes, to be jammed. So something could be jammed. For example, the thing that comes to mind is a printer. We could say the printer's jammed. So if something needs to move through something, but it gets stuck, then we can say being stuck is being jammed. Just like the traffic is jammed, but you could say, oh, the door is jammed. The door is jammed. It's jammed on something. I don't know what's going on. Or we talk about the printer being jammed. If you still have a printer, so many more things are being done digitally these days that not every office has a printer these days. I don't have a printer, but when I did, I would often have problems with ink and paper getting jammed in the printer, so getting stuck because it hadn't fed in properly. It'd gone in on an angle and then got all crinkled up and stuck. Okay, has anyone ever had to deal with a jammed printer? Yes, that's it, Romelia. Paper jam in the printer. Absolutely. Oh, Romelia, that's a great one for traffic jam. You could say it's chock-a-block. That just means it's very busy. Very, very busy. So you could say, oh, the traffic is terrible. It's chock-a-block out there. Chock-a-block. Absolute chock-a-block. That's a great word. Thank you for adding that in. Okay, so that's jam. Okay, the next word I'm going to give to you is can. Can. Also using that short jam, and can. Can. So what is a can? A can is basically a metal or sometimes a plastic container used for storing food or beverage. So you might get a can of Coke. Glug, 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 glug. Or you could have a can. I say a can of beans or a tin of beans. So yes, it's just the thing I always struggle with cans is opening them. Cans and tins, I have such a difficult time opening them. It's getting noisy now because schools are finishing, so lots of children are going to start coming in. I do hope you can hear me okay. If it becomes too noisy, then I might reschedule, but let me know if it becomes unbearably noisy. Okay, so here we go. To carry the can. To carry the can. So this is the first phrase. This is an idiomatic. Let me put it on the screen. Where's it gone? There it is. To carry the can is an idiomatic expression that means to take responsibility for something like a mistake or a failure or a problem, even if it wasn't your fault. So it means you're taking on the blame. For example, if I'm out with my son and my son damages somebody's property, maybe he's picking up rocks and I'm not paying attention and he throws the rock and it scratches someone's car, or I don't know, makes a mark on someone's wall and they get upset about it, I would have to carry the can, not my child. I would be the one who was responsible. So I would say, oh, sorry, that's my fault. Let me sort out that damage. What can I do to make it better? Carry the can. Another very fun expression, though not something you want to do, is to open a can of worms. To open a can of worms. Now, if you open a can of worms, then it refers to a very complicated and delicate situation where opening or addressing something, or dealing with something, makes the situation worse. So it makes it more complicated or adds more problems. It makes the situation more challenging than it already was. So, for example, if I run a company and I send around an email saying, I want to make things better. I'd like everyone to have to send me lots of feedback on what they think could be improved. That email could cause a chain reaction of people coming forward and voicing all of their concerns and their issues with the company, saying, well, I'm not happy about this and I'm not happy about that. And then this leads to more and more problems. So you could say that sending that email was opening a can of worms. By trying to do something that I thought was a good thing, it actually created a much more challenging situation. Okay, have you ever opened a can of worms? Okay, I can see lots of different questions coming in. So yeah, it is a bit noisy. It's quietened down a little bit now. I am sorry. I can't do anything about it. There's an engineer at my home right now trying to fix the damage so that hopefully by tomorrow, by this evening, hopefully I'll be back online and I won't have to be doing live streams and lessons from the gym. Okay, so I do apologize. Okay, yes, so I can see some personal questions coming in, asking about the window handle on the bottom. Yes, this is the window handle. How does it open? It just moves up like that, and then the window pushes out. Let me see what else. What are the questions? Is your acting career on hiatus, or are you done for good? I never say never. So hiatus is a word that means to be kind of on pause. Are you taking a break? I never say never. I'm not actively seeking acting work. If, however, a job was offered to me and it was the right kind of work, then I wouldn't say no. I would consider it if it fit with my life and my children. But I'm not actively out there looking for acting work. No, I'm focused on my course students and making YouTube videos keeps me very busy, and my children. Very, very busy. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, someone asking if I played Lara Croft. I did a long time ago. A long time ago. Like 20 years ago? 15? 20 years ago? I don't know. A long time ago. Okay, what's the weather like today? Very lovely. Thank you very much. Right, so we had can, and we had jam, and we had toast. So now I'm going to bring my notes onto screen, and we're going to do a little quiz here. Here we go. Right, so here is the first challenge. Which of these 3 words in bold fits into the gaps in the sentences A to C? Let me just hide this word here, and then you can see all the sentences. So, each of these words, jam, can, and toast, fit into these sentences, but which one goes where? Where do they go? So the first one, A, is the something of the town. And this phrase describes someone who is currently very popular, celebrated, or highly regarded by a community or group of people. So what is that one? Is it the jam of the town, the can of the town, or the toast of the town? And then B, and you can write your answers in the comments and I'll reveal the answers in a minute. B is in a what? And this means to be in a difficult or a tricky situation. So is that to be in a jam, to be in a can, or to be in a toast? Which one is it? And then C is kick the something down the road. And this means to delay dealing with a problem or to delay making a decision. So which one is it? Kick the jam down the road, kick the can down the road, or kick the toast down the road? Let's have a look. What are you guys saying? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let me reveal the answers. Okay, what have we got here? So you said A is toast, to be the toast of the town. B is jam, to be in a jam. And C is jam. You can use them only once. You can use them only once. Okay, let me reveal the answers. So the first one, to be the toast of the town. If you are the toast of the town, woohoo! If you're toasting something, you're celebrating it. So if you are the toast of the town, then you are celebrated. When you are highly regarded by a group of people. Okay, he was the toast of the town after he saved everybody, or after he successfully ran an amazing charity event. Okay, and then to be in a jam. So think about it like we also have a phrase to be in a sticky situation. To be in a sticky situation. Jam is quite sticky, isn't it? It's all gooey and sticky, and you have to wash your hands if you get jam on your hands. So think about that. Sticky, tricky, to be in a jam. So if you're in a jam, you're in a difficult situation. And then the last one, to kick the can down the road. So you don't want to deal with it now. You just push it back to another time. I'll deal with that later. I'll kick the can down the road. Just delay that. Just something I think we're all guilty of doing occasionally because we have so much going on, don't we? Such busy lives these days. So hopefully you got most of them right. So to be the toast of the town, to be in a jam, and to kick the can down the road. Don't worry if you got them wrong. That's exactly why we're here. Because if you didn't know the phrases before, now you do. I hope you've got a pen and a piece of paper to be writing these down. If not, don't worry, I'll leave this recording up for a few days. So you can always come back and you can watch this on double speed to get to the areas where I reveal the phrases. So you can come back and make your notes later if you need to. Okay. Christina, you love the phrase kick the can down the road. Great. I'm glad you do. Okay, never mind. So let's move on. So I've got 3 more pieces of vocabulary for you. So the next one is this one. Bar. Bar. Oh, actually, let me just adjust the phonetics there. Bar. 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 So a bar. Now, this can be used in different ways, but in this case, a bar is a place where you go to buy drinks, usually alcoholic beverages. So if you're going to a bar in London, then you're going to go to a place that will serve wine and beer and spirits and things like that. And soft drinks as well, if you don't fancy an alcoholic drink or if you don't drink alcohol. But yes, in restaurants, there'll always be a bar as well, somewhere where you can buy a drink within the restaurant. Okay. Oh, someone's mentioned in a pickle. Oh, that's a good one. We're going to come across that one later. Okay, so bar. You'll notice I'm not pronouncing the R, and I removed the letter R from the phonetics. Bar. That's how we pronounce it. British English is non-rhotic. We rarely pronounce R's when they appear at the end or in the middle of a word, depending on what follows. If the following word began with a vowel sound, then you would pronounce the R, but generally not. Bar, like a sheep or a goat, yes. Bar, absolutely. Bar. Wow, in Turkey today, it's Teacher Day. Fantastic. Well, I'm here at the right time then. Okay, great. So that's bar. Some idioms that, or different ways of using bar. One is to be behind bars. What does it mean to be behind bars? Has anyone heard that? Oh, where is Daniel? Did you not hear? Daniel's behind bars. What does that mean? He's behind bars. Anybody know? Yeah, there are many other ways of using bar as well. But yes, to be behind bars that's right, it's to be in jail. To be arrested is slightly different because to be arrested is the point at which it can refer to the point at which the police stop you and put you under arrest. You could be in the police car. You could still be on the street in handcuffs. You have been arrested, but being behind bars suggests that you're actually now in prison. Okay, so you're in a jail cell. You've got bars keeping you in. Okay, so you're in prison. To be incarcerated, yes, that's another one. Although I think that's more American, to be incarcerated. To be in prison is what we tend to say. So you're serving your sentence. You can also be barred. So you might want to go to a lovely bar. You're coming to London, you say, hey, let's go to that really nice bar in Waterloo. I can't go. Why not? I'm barred. What do you mean you're barred? Well, I caused a bit of trouble the last time I was there. I started a fight. The bouncers kicked me out and now I'm barred for life. It means you're not allowed to go into a place. You've been prevented from entering or participating in any activity there. So you cannot access. I haven't ever been barred from a bar. I'm not a trouble causer. Yes, it's like being banned. It's like being banned. Normally, you get barred from clubs and pubs or bars, and usually the security team or the bouncers will have a list of names and pictures of people who are barred, so that if they see them coming in, they can be like, hang on a minute, no, you're not allowed to get out, and they get chucked out. Okay, so that's bar. The next word we're going to look at is chop, chop, chop. To chop, 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 chop. So to chop is a cooking technique. It's to cut food, typically meat or vegetables, into small pieces. I think I'm not a big fan of cooking. I like eating good food, healthy food, nice food, wholesome food. But I'm not a fan of cooking, mostly because I don't like preparing the veg. You know, if it's like chopping onions, like peeling the onions and chopping the onions into little tiny pieces. I really don't enjoy that. I tend to end up cutting myself. It's very messy. It takes ages. So that's to chop. Something I'm not a fan of. But phrases that use the word chop. Here's a fun one. So if you can think of any phrases, and do feel free to add them. But here's one that I've been accused of many times: to chop and change. To chop and change. To chop and change means to change frequently. Okay, so you might change your mind, or you might change your actions. So in my career, I've chopped and changed quite a lot. I think doing YouTube is probably the one thing I've done for the longest. I've taught for a long time, but I've taught in many different facilities, to many different ages and many different subjects over the years. So I've chopped and changed quite a lot within my teaching career. My partner is terrible for chopping and changing when it comes to planning and ideas. So we're always trying to improve the house, doing lots of DIY, which is like decoration and improvements that are do it yourself. You don't need to get people in. If it's painting a wall, you're going to do it yourself. It's a bit of DIY, putting up shelves and things like that. So when we're deciding what to do with the house, we'll say, why don't we put something in here, put up a shelf there, paint it this color? Is that a good idea? That's a good idea. And then the next day I'll say, should we go to the DIY store and buy the shelf and the paint that we need? No, I was thinking we should actually not put a shelf up, but instead we should do this. And I'll say, oh, okay, let's do that then. And then the next day said, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do something completely different. And it's very frustrating. But that's his nature. That's his personality. And I love him to bits. So I'm not complaining, but he does chop and change a lot. And it makes me a little bit dizzy. Okay, so to chop and change, let me give you another phrase. And I quite like this one. I think this is very British, actually. You might tell someone, chop, chop, come on, chop, 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 chop. This means hurry up, be quick. Chop, chop, come on, let's go. I've got to catch a train. Come on, we're going to be late. Chop, chop. I don't know why we use that phrase. It's just, I guess, because the action of chopping is quite quick and blunt and gets the job done. And so you're saying, come on, let's be quick and get it done. Chop, chop. Okay. Very good. Okay. So let's move on to the next word. Oh, you learnt chop chop from one of the Harry Potter films. Yeah, fantastic. Let's have a look at the next phrase, the next word. The next word we're looking at is butter. Butter. Again, I've got the R in there. Let me just take that out because it might be confusing. Again, we're not going to pronounce the R unless the following word begins with a vowel sound. So we generally would say butter, butter, butter. Okay, so butter is a dairy product that's made from cream. It's often used in cooking. So you might start with a knob of butter in your pan that melts down to produce fat. And then you might fry things in that, or you might spread it on your toast. I love toast with butter and then jam, but you have to put the butter on the toast when the toast is straight out of the toaster, nice and warm, so the butter melts. Tastes much nicer. Then you put your marmalade on top. That's what I love, is toast, butter, and marmalade. I don't have it often. It's an occasional treat, because I do try and avoid having too much sugar. Okay, so butter. What phrases do we have that use butter? I think I just saw someone's written in a phrase. Let's have a look. Okay, yes. So you've put butter me up. Butter me up. Absolutely. That's the phrase I'm going to talk about now. So to butter someone up. To butter, sorry, Helena, I'm making you hungry. I do apologize. Okay, so to butter someone up is to flatter them, to praise them a lot. Usually because you have an ulterior motive. If you butter something, you want to make it a little more slippy, not sticky. Remember, sticky is something we use to talk about tricky or difficult situations. So if you butter that up, you make it easier. When I'm baking, doesn't happen often, but when I'm baking, if I'm making a cake or something, I will butter up the cake tin before I put the mixture in, so that I can easily lift the cake out at the end. It's not difficult or tricky or sticky. So if you butter someone up, it's because you want them to feel good, so they respond kindly when you ask them what you want. So if I really wanted my partner to agree to look after the children while I had a night out with my friends, then I might say really nice things to him and act really, really like nice, and just be telling him all the time how wonderful he is. I mean, I do this anyway, but I might be doing it excessively, so that when I finally say, do you mind babysitting on Saturday? I'm going to go out with the girls. Is that okay? Then hopefully, because he feels all happy with all the praise I've been giving him, hopefully he'll say, of course, darling, you go out. I'll do all the bedtime and dinner time with the children. I'll sort everything out. Don't you worry. Okay. So to butter someone up. You've put here buttery eyes. I've never seen that or heard that. I know of butterfingers. That's a phrase that I often refer to myself as having butterfingers. It's usually something I say if I keep like dropping things keep slipping out of my hand. Oh, butterfingers. I've got like slippery hands. I can't seem to, and it doesn't mean that I literally have slippery hands, but I just don't seem to be able to hold on to things. Like I'm being clumsy. I just say, oh, butterfingers. Butterfingers. So is butter someone up negative? I mean, it sounds like it's negative because of the ulterior motive, but it generally is used in a positive way. Like it's not malicious. It's not got evil intent. So it's not something your enemy would do necessarily. People who love each other very much will butter each other up. Yeah. So it's not necessarily a negative phrase, no. Okay. Okay, so another phrase you might use is you might say that, yes, I can see another one come up as well. Yes, you guys have got some good ideas here. Butter wouldn't melt in someone's mouth. So if you say, oh, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, it means that you're describing someone who appears innocent and appears sweet on the outside, but really they're quite cheeky or they're quite naughty or cunning underneath. So I could say my youngest son, Caspian, he's got, beautiful longish blonde hair. He's got blue eyes. He looks quite angelic. He looks like a little cherub. There's little cheeks. He's only 3. So he's got that little cherub face. He looks like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. If you just looked at a picture of him, you'd think, oh, what an angelic, beautiful little child. But actually, he can be a handful. he can be quite naughty when he wants to be, and he's very bossy and he's very headstrong. So I might say, you might say, "Oh, Caspian, he looks so beautiful," and I said, "Butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, but really, he's a devil." No, he is lovely, really. Okay, so what's the next phrase? Yes, okay. So now we've got a challenge. Here we go. Let me just take this off the screen and bring back my document. Okay, so which of these three expressions in bold matches the definitions below? Okay, so we have fine words, butter, no parsnips, to get the chop, and to raise the bar. So these are three more phrases. Can you match them to the meanings? So the first meaning A is an informal expression that means to be dismissed from a job or position, often involuntary. So this means to get the sack. So you're working for a company and then suddenly they say, "You're out of here, you're not working for us anymore." Which phrase do we use? Fine words, butter, no parsnips, to get the chop, or to raise the bar? The second one, we don't know which one it belongs to, is a British idiom that means a person's efforts or actions have little or no influence or effect. In other words, it suggests that someone's attempt to persuade, impress, or succeed are ineffective or not making a difference. Which one could that be? And then the last one is to set higher standards or expectations. Okay, do you know which phrase belongs to which definition? Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Okay, yes, lots of interesting answers coming through. Fantastic. Okay, so let me give you the answers. So A, an informal expression that means to be dismissed from a job or position is to get the chop. So if you've been let go, sacked, removed from your job, then you have been given the chop. Okay, so you say, "I got the chop from work." You've been cut and you're out. The expression or the idiom that means that a person's efforts and actions have no effect or influence and they're ineffective is fine words, butter, no parsnips. That means you can't trust anything that's said because words, they don't do anything. They're just words. And finally, these are the two that belong together. To raise the bar is to set higher standards or expectations. This is a phrase that you'd often hear if you're learning business English, but you can hear it in other areas as well. But if you raise the bar, then you're raising the standard. Okay, making things better. Okay, fantastic. Hopefully you are all coming across new and interesting phrases and words here. Okay, here's a third challenge. I'm going to bring back my notes. So here are three expressions. Can you work out the real meanings of the food-related words in bold below them? So the first phrase here is to be in a right pickle. Someone mentioned this earlier. To be in a pickle is similar to being in a jam. It's to be in a difficult or problematic situation. So if something is very difficult, you can't find an easy way out, then you're in a pickle. Or you might say, "I'm in a right pickle." If you add right in there, then it's functioning to emphasize the pickle that you're in. So, "Oh, I'm in a pickle. I've double booked myself this afternoon and I don't know what to do." Or you might be in a right pickle, like everything is just a mess, a nightmare. I don't know what to do. I'm in a right pickle. If you grill someone, then you question them intensely. So an investigator, a detective might grill a suspect. to find out where he was on the night of the crime. So it's intense questioning. And it's often, here it says, it's often in a formal setting, okay, to grill someone. And then to be in mint condition. If something is described as being in mint condition, then it means it's perfect. There's no marks or flaws at all. You'd often see this if you're selling a car or looking to buy a second-hand car, or if you're collecting an old antique or something like that, then the description might include in mint condition, meaning it's absolutely perfect. It's just as good as if it were brand new. Okay? So in mint condition. So we had the word pickle, we had the word grill, and we had the word mint used in these three phrases. Now, they are all food-related words independently, but what do they mean? Mint, grill, and pickle. So which one means to preserve food in vinegar, brine, or some similar solution? Is that to mint something, to grill something, or to pickle something? This is making me think very strongly about something that we're doing at home. Does anybody know how you preserve food in vinegar, what you do? To pickle, absolutely right, yes. To pickle something is to preserve food in vinegar, brine, or a similar solution. Brine is like a salt water. We are currently trying to make sauerkraut at home. And we've been very unsuccessful so far. We've been producing some very foul smelling food and have to throw it away a couple of times, but we keep trying to get the solution right. We're using a brine solution to make the sauerkraut. We will get there eventually, I'm sure. So which one means a cooking appliance used for cooking food over an open flame or heat source? Which one is this? This one is the grill, a grill. A grill, as far as I'm concerned, is perfect for melting cheese. If you want cheese melted on top of something like toast, cheese on toast, sticking the cheese on toast underneath the grill is the best way to get perfect cheese on toast. And then the last one, of course, a fragrant herb often used in cooking or for making tea is mint. I love making fresh mint tea. It's one of my favorites. Okay, it's getting noisier in here. I am so sorry. All right, here's another question. In that last little section, we had pickle, grill, and mint. Which of those words means, or which of those words means a place where you produce coins? Which word means a place to produce coins? Pickle, mint, or grill? Anybody know? The answer is mint. That's it. Yeah, we got there. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, the mint, the royal mint is the place where coins, money is made. Fantastic. Okay. So we're not going to do any more quiz questions, but I do want to introduce three more phrases using the word bread. Let me just put it on screen. Oh no. I dropped my computer and the keys are not working very well. Okay, so bread. We talked about using bread to toast, to make toast. But what phrases do we have in English that contain the word bread? I saw one earlier mentioned, but please do write it in again if you're still here, whoever wrote it. Here's one phrase. So to know which side your bread is buttered on. to know which side your bread is buttered on. This phrase means to understand where your interests lie, whether in a practical or self-serving sense. So it's about like loyalty. If you are working in a partnership and someone else is trying to encourage you to come and work for them, so leaving your partnership, like betraying them, you might say to them, no, I know which side my bread is buttered on. I know where my interests lie. It's not right for me to come and do that. It's in my best interest to stay in the partnership that I'm an honest person. So to know what side your bread is buttered on. Okay, the next phrase is to be the best thing since sliced bread. So something is the best thing since sliced bread, then, and I like this expression a lot, it means that something that's new or innovative is considered extremely useful or groundbreaking. It's the best thing since the invention of sliced bread. So you might say, wow, ChatGPT or AI is the best thing since sliced bread. Or I don't know, metal flasks are the best thing since sliced bread. Mobile phones, whatever it is, something that you think is brilliant, you would refer to as being the best thing since sliced bread. I've heard people use this phrase to describe people as well. She's the best thing since sliced bread. Just means you think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, and then the last one, which is one that was earlier posted, but I can't see it again, is bread and butter. Now, practically, bread and butter is your bread with butter on it. You want bread and butter with your dinner. But when we talk about bread and butter in a metaphorical sense, we're talking about our livelihood, the money that we need to survive, our essential income to eat, to have a roof over our heads, to keep our homes warm. That's our bread and butter. So usually within a household, someone is the main breadwinner. We refer to bread as being money. So someone's the main breadwinner, and they are the bread and butter of the family. They provide the essential resources for the family. Okay, to earn your bread and butter. You need a job to earn your bread and butter. Okay. Okay, how do you use these idioms like natives? So idioms are a big part of just our daily chit chat, the same as phrasal verbs and metaphors and proverbs. You just pepper them in. So becoming familiar with the idioms in the first place is that first step. As you become familiar with them, you'll start hearing them more and more. So we have a phrasal verb course where we teach 300 phrasal verbs in a 30-day challenge, which is currently on sale, by the way, guys. I do have a Black Friday sale going on. So we have this phrasal verb booster, and the students always tell me how surprised they are that once they start doing the course, how much they hear these phrasal verbs appearing in their day-to-day lives. They're like, I wasn't aware of these phrasal verbs before, but now I know them. Now I'm hearing them all around me. I'm reading them. I spot them everywhere. So the first step is awareness. Just learn them bit by bit, really understand the meaning. Then you'll start to hear them. And then you have to start trying to put them into your active vocabulary. Okay. Is there any other questions? So now is a good time for questions, by the way. I have a question. How can I improve my British pronunciation? I always have American pronunciation, which is understandable. Many people who learn English as a second language tend to end up learning an American accent because it's more prevalent. And now I want to change to a British accent, but I have difficulty pronouncing British in a British way. So I did a really big live lesson yesterday, which is still available, and it will be for the weekend on here on YouTube, or where are you watching? Yeah, on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel yesterday, a big video went up. It's about an hour and 45 minutes. I run a little bit of a pronunciation lesson, and I talk about exactly how to get the British accent, or any accent that you want, how to do it, the nuts and bolts of what you need to do. Okay, so my biggest recommendation is to go and with a notepad, go and watch that and make lots of notes, because it's not something that comes easily, but there is a step-by-step process that you can follow. Let's have a look at this. So as far as I can understand, we can say the best thing since sliced bread about people too. Yes. Isn't it offensive saying to them that they are a thing? No, not in this case. If someone says to me, Anna, you are the best thing since sliced bread, I'd be like, amazing. Thank you so much. And I'd go home and say, someone said I was the best thing since sliced bread. It's not offensive, not in the slightest. Okay. Any other? Oh, hang on. Hello. How do you pronounce Liam Perrin's Worcester? So we tend to say Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce tends to be shortened, but you might say Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce, but most people just say Worcester sauce for ease. Is this lecture live or recorded? Well, it's live. Hello. Nice to see you. Any other questions? If you describe someone, say if someone knows which side of the bread is buttered on, which side their bread is buttered on, doesn't that have negative connotations about the person described? No, it means you know where your loyalties lie. So if my partner was getting jealous about my relationship with my boss, I'm staying late at work and I'm doing a lot of extra work for my boss, and he might be showing signs of being a bit jealous about that, I might pull him aside and say, look, you don't need to worry. You've got nothing to worry about. I love you and I know which side my bread is buttered on. I know where my interests lie. It's not negative in the sense of being selfish or self-centered. You're saying, I know what's important to me. Okay. Oh, Christina. Thank you so much. Oh, that's really kind. That's really very kind. How do you pronounce humidifier? Humidifier. Okay, so fantastic. I do hope that you found today useful and that you learned at least one new phrase that you can go ahead and use. If you are interested in having more lessons like this, this is the kind of thing and many other things that we offer over on our English Like a Native community. What we would normally do at the end of a lesson like this is provide a writing task for our students, and we tell them to do something like write 100 words on any subject using the expressions that you've enjoyed in today's session. And then for our fluency students, they would complete this task, which would be set on a Monday, and then they would post their work. And by the end of the week, then there'd be another lesson where they get feedback on their work. So at English Like a Native, we're not like most online video courses. We have a lot of touch points with native teachers to provide you with feedback, to give you the motivation, give you lots of reasons to keep joining in with group sessions, group lessons, to keep you on track and keep you motivated, because it can be very easy to lose motivation when you're studying alone with a video course. So we give you everything. We give you videos, we give you tasks, we give you live lessons, we give you conversation classes so you can increase your speaking confidence. We give you lots and lots of resource. So if you are interested in becoming a fluent and confident English speaker, then please do make the most of this promotion. It's the biggest promotion we do of the year. We've got discounts of up to 60%. And you don't have to go for our biggest product. We have some of our individual products available at big discounts too. For example, our business course has 60% off. Our phrasal verb booster has got a huge discount. Our pronunciation course, or a year in the conversation club. There's lots on there to provide some service for all of you. So go and have a look while the offer stands. And I'm going to say once again, thank you very much for joining me. If you did miss yesterday's live lesson, then you can watch that any point up to about Tuesday. I'll probably leave it up. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. Do take very good care and have a lovely weekend.